right, welcome back everybody to another pickups video that I have for you this week. As I mentioned earlier on Monday that I'm doing my dollar bin finds, I didn't hit a lot of dollar bins over the last week just because I just didn't have the time and the weather really just didn't permit a lot of flea market hunts or anything like that. So my dollar bin digging was limited, but I did find a bunch of price books and things I could do for pickups. Even so, the stack's not huge, but I did spend a few dollars and grab some cool stuff that I'm looking to share with you guys. So yeah, please, if you like the content, hit like, hit subscribe, hit that alert button so you don't miss out on any of the content that I got dropping here. Please give me your feedback. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, and I can do my best to accommodate if I agree with you. You can already see I'm changing kind of the format of how I'm going to show things off as I'm showing them. So this way you guys can see it for a little bit longer than maybe how I was displaying them previously, just kind of flashing them up on screen. So hopefully you like that, and hopefully you like the changes that I'm making. And just hang on for a second. I'm going to show off all the stuff that I bought this past week. So as I teased at the front, I've got a few things to show off that I've been picking up. We're going to start off actually not with things that I bought, but things that I were given. These were mostly gifts. And I'm going to put these both under the toys category because it came from my pops. But the first two are not actually toys. These are cards. He found a couple of packs of these Prism basketball cards. And these seem to do pretty well. These are like, $40-50 for these little like $8 to $10 packs you would find in the store. These hanger packs. I debated and hit up a couple of friends asking, what should I do with these? Should I open them or should I just sell them? I think I'm just going to try to sell them as is because, again, they do pretty well. So might as well take that, this fortune that my dad found. He told me to do whatever I want with them. He said I can open them, I can sell them, whatever I want to do with them. So I'm thinking I might sell them and then put these into a book or something like that, buy a comic that I actually want. Because as much as I do enjoy basketball and I do enjoy basketball cards, I don't care all that much for the whole card hobby personally. It's just not my deal. It's just not for me. I got already enough in toys and comics, and I got enough interest in enough hobbies. So I got to try to draw the line somewhere. But still pretty cool, and I will still kind of hunt this stuff, and I know a little bit about it, but I'm just not keeping these two for now. And then outside of that, I wish this wasn't, ripped up. I mean, I'm probably going to open this up, maybe even let my son play with this one. But he found me a AEW figure. He found me a Hangman Adam Page. I told him I've kind of fallen behind on watching AEW lately. And as you see, this one, the package already started to rip up here. And so it's not one I'm going to keep for a collectible. But it just makes me wonder, I mean, maybe I still will. It doesn't matter. Still just for me. I do like AEW. I just don't have the time to watch all the wrestling products that are out there. So I've kind of fallen a little bit behind. I didn't even hit up Double or Nothing this past week at the pay-per-view because I was so behind. I was like, why am I going to pay $50 for a pay-per-view when I don't even know what's going on? So, I figured I'd save myself some money there. But still, pretty cool figure, and I'm glad my dad found it for me because I'm happy to take any gifts. I'll accept gifts wherever they come from. But that being said, those were the toys that I picked up this week. Next up, we're going to hit up some first appearances, I guess is the category that I kind of created for this stuff. The first being, I found these I paid cover for, just in a box, just at a shop I was digging at the other day. And I found a couple more. I know I cover these in dollar bin, and I would pay $1, but I will also pay cover for this infamous Iron Man #1. This is the first AI Tony Stark, basically, and you also get first Doom as Iron Man, which I don't think that's something we're really going to get in the MCU because we didn't even get Doom yet, so we're not going to get Doom as Iron Man. But hey, who knows? Who knows what they might actually do? But that being said, this book is actually selling pretty well right now. I wasn't really predicting that or seeing that this was going to be like a $40 to $50 book, but there it is. So to pay cover and find one or two of them that are in pretty nice shape, for cover, I was buying them. I also happened to grab for $4.50 the action figure cover. I actually don't have one of these. I have this A cover, but I don't have the action figure, so I was happy to grab that as well because that's kind of a cool cover and one you don't see all that often either. So for $4.50, I was buying that too. Now I know I normally don't share the prices on this because that's not the point. I'm not here to gloat or try to show off of like, whoa, look what I found. I'm just sharing it because I didn't have time to rebag and board this stuff. So you're probably going to see it anyway. And if you're curious, I'm just going to tell you because it's not a secret. I'm not trying to keep this from anybody. It's just Normally, I just don't announce it, but I'm just going to tell you this time because, like I said, you might be able to see it when I show them off on the screen. And the next one is this. What is this? This is the Jason Scott Campbell Thor #5, which I believe is a lady Loki of sorts. This is when Loki, I believe, possessed Sif. But it's a book that a lot of people are going after these days. And if you can see or if you can't, this was $3.50. So for $3.50, I was scooping this one up as well because it's not doing too bad. And I already got a couple, but these were pickups mostly of things like, you know what, maybe I can try to flip them to, put that money to work to get myself something else nice that I'd like to get, or kind of pay off some of the other things that I have sitting next to me that I've been buying. Make that money back. So that would be I don't know if I really want to call that First Lady Loki because it's not really Loki. It's Loki and he's female, but he's really Sif, and I don't know. It's a whole weird situation. I mean, you buy what you like. Like I said, I have it. I like this cover, and I'd like to own one, but I don't need extras, so that's why I'm going to get rid of the extra. The next one, this is not a great first, but it is what it is, and this is technically the first Venom cover. That little head you see on the, right up there, and this right up here, $3.15 in that McFarlane run early on. It's a newsstand. You can see that. Well, I paid $15 for this, but this has been selling pretty steady in that like $50 range as well. So I thought 15, nice copy, was a good price. So I just get it. This is an extra. I have one or two at least of this as well. And $3.16 is the superior cover. It is a classic Venom image, and one would wish that was his first cover, but technically he's right there, so it's kind of his first cover, whatever the reason. And it's also Hydro Man, which if you go back to my dollar bin pickups, I got the first Hydro Man too for $1. So this is a pretty cool Hydro Man cover. To kind of go with that. I bought them both at the same time at the same shop, by the way, in case anybody was curious. And then finally, the last thing I bought, and I mentioned this on the G.I. Joe first appearance spotlight show that I'm doing with Ben C to kind of replace our heat checks. I picked this book up. I didn't know we were going to be covering that book as one of our first show, but I picked up the first Dawn Moreno just because I thought now is the time before it gets too pricey and something I'm not going to want to pay up for later. I sold a book, like just some random boys variant, for about the price that I paid for this. So I was like, you know what? It seems almost like a trade or a swap. And that variant that I sold, I only paid a couple dollars for it. I found it really cheap. So in my head, that made this mean this cost me just a couple of bucks as well, even though that's not really how things work. But let me have my illusions and let me think about these things as I do in my own weird logic. Don't worry about it. That being said, these are the first appearance books that I picked up this week, which takes me to a nice little stack of Sandman books that I grabbed. I've been thinking a lot about Sandman lately, as you can guess by my dollar bin digging article for last Friday. You should always keep an eye out for Sandman books in those dollar bins. And while I do find a couple, and some of those out there, I will also admit sometimes you're not going to find them for $1 and you're going to find them for a couple of bucks more. So I'm saying you do what you want. I bought these mostly because I want to have them in my collection. I got the omnibus recently. I have some trades and I have a good chunk of the run, but there's a bunch of issues that I'm missing. Most of these are issues that I'm missing, and I bought a couple of duplicates of stuff that I can sell, and I also think that were underpriced, so and might have some legs going in the future. This first one is number 6. I need it for myself, so I grabbed that for Sandman. Again, these are all Sandman books, so keep that in mind. Oh, that's not the first one. Out of order. Number 3. I grabbed number 3, and then number 6. I tried to put these in order for you, but I guess I flubbed these a little bit. I grabbed 2 copies of number 13. And if you've seen my Instagram account, you might have seen a couple of these books already because I shared some of this stuff, I believe, early this week as I picked them up. I try to remember to do that, but I don't always get to share everything on Instagram, especially because I'm doing a show like this where I'm going to show all the stuff off anyway. So I grabbed a couple of issue 13, which, as I mentioned, is an option of something that people used to be able to find in dollar bins. I paid, what was this, $9 for this? I grabbed 2 copies. This is the first, what's her name again? I can't think of her name. Constantine's heir, not heir, his ancestor. It's not Johanna. It's Josephine. Is it Josephine Constantine, possibly? Anyway, the girl from Doctor Who, Clara, the impossible girl from Doctor Who, is playing her, and I like her. She's a decent actress, and so I think the role on the Netflix show, because she's been cast for the Netflix Sandman show, will probably have some meat to it, at least for a little bit, a little episode or two maybe. But that being said, that's her first there, so that's why that one might have a little bit to go on. I needed a number 20. You can see there, it's $3. Nothing too crazy, so you can still find some of this stuff pretty cheap. And I also needed 24 in my run. Again, a lot of this stuff was like random books that I needed. Nothing super special I can say apart from this is just a fantastic read and a fantastic run. But issue 24 was $2, so I grabbed it. I tried to grab some of the really cheap ones that were priced that way, like $2-3. I'm going to grab them because, yeah, they're not dollar bin finds, but close enough for me. And then I did mention this as a dollar bin find, but I didn't find it for $1 at this shop. I found it for $4 and $5, but I found 2 of the first Dead Boy Detectives there. You can see this cover. Starting to get a little full, so I'll take a few of these off. Yeah, so $4 or $5, that's like cover price these days, right? So to me, that's good enough. And plus, this thing sells for like 20, 25, and they're showing up on Doom Patrol Season 3, so that's why I grabbed these. And I needed one. I needed one for my run, and I figured I'd grab these. But this is still stuff you can find. If I had time to go out to hit those like flea markets and like the yard sales and the normal routines that I might have, but with the weather I could have been hunting a lot of the stuff there. But yeah, it is what it is. This was a surprise. I paid a few bucks for this, but I haven't really looked into how much this sells for, but I just thought it was kind of cool and wanted it. And this was the Sandman number 50, but this is the Platinum Edition. And you see, I paid $25 for it, but I felt like Platinum Edition of this book, it's got to be worth $25, right? I think so. At least it was to me, so I bought one. It's not to resell or anything like that. I just thought it was kind of cool. I do have the regular number 50, but I figured I'd get the Platinum for $25. Number 54, I needed. It's $4, so I was like, all right, $4. Not too bad. Again, these are filling out little holes. Like I've found a bunch in the dollar bins, and this is just, you know what? I can keep hunting in the dollar bins, or I just pay $4. Like $4 is not a huge, a huge bit out of my wallet. I can handle that. So I'd rather just do it. And this last one, I wished it was second print, but it's not. It's number 75, which for whatever reason, I think I have this, and I think I might have multiple copies, but on my spreadsheet list, it was showing that I didn't have it. So I felt like just to be on the safe side, for $5, I'll get this number 75, just in case, to make sure that I do definitely have one. Plus, it's really a really nice copy, down the spine. But too bad it wasn't that second print, which is impossible to find. Impossible. But those were the Sandman books that I grabbed this week. You can see I spent a good chunk of money on all that stuff once you pile it all together and add it up. But I still think if I were to flip some of those duplicates in there, I think I can get all of it back. It's just the nature of things. So I flip one of those Dead Boy Detectives and one of those extra number 13s. I probably get $50 back, which I think pretty much covers what's in this stack. So that's kind of how I like to, I don't want to say play this game, but that's how I have to work, because while I have some money I can spend on this stuff, I do have to make some back to keep buying books. Otherwise, my wife will kill me. That being said, move on to the last section that I have here, which are some of the variants that I bought. I do like variants. And the first one being another gift from my dad. I tried looking, but my Walmarts didn't have it. But you've actually found a couple for me. And that is, the Walmart High Republic that my buddy JJ had pointed out could be an NWA homage on this cover, which is kind of cool. So I got one here, and I sent another one off to another friend of mine. Maybe you guys saw it on the pickup portion of the Star Wars show earlier this week. We shall see. But still, happy my dad found one for me. I think I have a loose one too, because my dad likes opening these packs to find out what's in them. He doesn't really collect comics all that much. He likes to read them, as I do too, but part of me also knows to keep certain things sealed and others. So I got a loose one, and I got this sealed pack. That's probably what I'm going to keep for myself for a while. And next up, last week, I believe I showed you that I grabbed this Black Knight 3. And I said I would be bringing it back because I had two other things on the way, which were Black Knight 2. Or I don't know if I'm showing it well enough. Trying to line these up properly. There we go. Lines up. They're connecting covers. And I also got number 1. No, wait. I need 1 and 2. So it goes this way? Yes, I think it goes this way. We're like working in a mirror here, guys. But yeah. So 1 and 2. It all connects. I can't hold all 3 up and fit it on my screen properly for you, but you get the idea. So I got these Black Knight covers, all for under ratio, even after shipping, I believe. So it was worth it to me. So I grabbed these. I'm a big Black Knight fan. I like this idea of, like, if you look at them in sequence of the different outfits, like here, I'm going to show them to you again. There's number 1, like the original with a little eagle kind of on the top of the helmet. And then you get number 2 there. You get that same kind of look, but look, he's got almost like that Grim Reaper kind of outfit with a skull and crossbones on his chest and with like an AIM helmet instead, while on the, the Black Pegasus. And then number 3, which is getting more towards that classic look that we get from Dane Whitman. Looking forward to this. And I think there's 2 more issues coming, so there's 2 more variants I'm going to have to buy, and hopefully they don't get, like sought after or something, and I got to pay huge out of pocket, because I don't have them pre-ordered anywhere. I'm just going to have to look into them where I can find them. Most of the shops that are in my area don't order enough copies to get a 1 in 25 for Black Knight, so I got to do this stuff online. So hopefully I remember and keep track of when they're coming out so I can get them when they do come out and not pay out the nose to get them, because I'd really like to avoid that if I can. Up next, I showed you I bought this book twice already, and I probably wouldn't have bought those other copies for I think like 20 bucks or so if I would have known I was going to find this one for $5. Yes, the sticker says $14.99, but the shop I was in was having a sort of a sale. So when I brought it up to the counter, he said the variants were $5. So I paid $5 for this one. So now I got 3 of these. All 3 of them look pretty nice, so I might just get them all graded and do like 9.8 or bust, even though that's kind of cost prohibitive these days. Like CGC, apart from being backed up by months, really up the prices on like fast tracking and all that stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I'll have to take a look. But still, I really do dig this cover. And if we get Red Hulk showing up in the MCU, this is going to be one of those covers I think people are going to chase, because this is kind of fun. Even though USA Avengers as a title is kind of irrelevant, like I said, its cover alone, that's just it's just one of those things I think that will hit. It's just one of those covers that I think will grab people, because it grabbed me. And like I said, I bought 3 of them. So what are you going to do? Another one that I was surprised. I'm like, well, if variants are all $5, why do I got to pay $6 for this? But I paid $6 for this. And this is Thor number 2 variant. I think this is a 1 in 10. But this is actually an early, Gore, the God Butcher cover, which a lot of people don't know about it. Topher told me about this one, I don't know, a while back. And every time I see it now, I buy it. And usually you can find it pretty cheap. But it probably shouldn't stay cheap for long. I mean, because there aren't a lot of Gore comics, let alone Gore covers out there. So, I don't know. I keep an eye on this bad boy if I were you. Every time I see it, I usually buy one. But even looking online now, there's a few cheap copies out there. So I don't know. If it interests you, I'd say get it now while it's cheap, because if it turns out to be nothing, at least you didn't pay a lot. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to blame me for spending all your money if I'm telling you to go buy like a $6, $8 book. Like, you do what you like. I'm just saying, when I see it for cheap, I buy it because I like it. And then my last one is a cover. I know I have at least 1. I might have 2. I really got to organize. But regardless, this again was a book that was in a 50% off box. It was marked $10, so I paid $5 for it. I love this cover. This is a fantastic cover of Madeline Pryor. And yeah, so I think this is also a 1 in 10 from Uncanny X-Men from this era. And this was, what issue is this? This is 505. And I think it's Greg Land cover. It's just a gorgeous cover. Like I said, I have at least 1 copy of it, and I was going to get it submitted, but it wasn't a 9.8. This one might have a shot. I got to take it out and take another look at the spine. There's like a tick or 2, so maybe not 9.8, but still definitely worth $5. That being said, this is a gorgeous cover. I wish I did have it in 9.8, but it doesn't look like I'm going to, at least not yet. I will grab every copy that I find at a decent price, because I think this thing is actually pretty expensive. At least the copies that I think are available right now are pretty expensive. I mean, bide you time, wait it out, try to get when you're, you can when it's cheap. But yeah, you make the call yourself. What you think is cheap and what I think is cheap may be 2 completely different things. So that being said, that's the last book that I got for my pickups. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything on the channel. Hopefully I got some more fun stuff to show you next week. And I will see you guys, next time.